comments after.
I pledge allegiance for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can we have a roll call on the commissioners?
Soto Presley, Kasbricki,
Here.
Navejas,
Here.
Myrick,
Here.
Hopbridge.
Here. For the record, we have 4 present tonight with 1 absent. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Number 4, communications.
None were received.
Okay. Number 5, minutes from February 21st, 2017.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for February 21st, 2017 for the Hammond Redevelopment Commission.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Minutes from February 21st, 2017. Is there any question or discussion on these minutes or any corrections or additions? Since there is none, roll call on the minutes, please.
Soto Presley, Kasbricki,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, number 6, homebound conditional forgivable loan approval. Okay, we'll skip number 6. We'll move to number 7, home program conditional loan approval.
Wanda?
It's for Wanda Cirillo
Cirillo.
at 248 Lawndale.
Right.
Welcome, Ms. Cirillo.
Good afternoon. So, Ms. Cirillo, has the loan program been explained to you?
Yes,
Do you understand the program?
yes, I do.
Yes, you do, okay. Do you understand that the Hammond Redevelopment Commission only provides the funding, and we do not warranty or guarantee the contractor or the contractor's work, and you must do your own due diligence in that aspect?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for us?
No.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Looks like quite a project you're undertaking, so I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the home program conditional loan approval for Ms. Wanda Carrillo at 248 Lawndale.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the home program conditional loan approval for Wanda Cirillo at 248 Lawndale. Can we have a roll call on that?
Soto Presley, Kasbricki,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, number 8, approval of supplemental agreement with SCH.
Commissioners, you have in your packet the agreement with SEH. This is the same agreement we had with SEH last year. We're just updating it for 2017. By the way, Dan Bowditch is here to speak on it if you have any questions for him. We use SEH as a financial consultant for many projects in the city, specifically anything with tax abatement or TIF. He's also an Urban Enterprise Association expert as well, so we like to have him come in certain situations for that program as well. Again, the pricing hasn't changed. We're just wanted to get a contract in place for 2017. Be happy to take any questions you may have.
Well, if he could just come forward, Dan, and real quick overview,
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good
Afternoon.
It's always a pleasure to be back. I just want to give a quick overview. It's general economic development consulting, so typically, economic development and redevelopment staff will contact SCH or myself to either look at or analyze or provide impact analysis, economic development modeling on various economic projects. So if a company is looking to site locate in Indiana, specifically the city of Hammond, and then compare it with other sites so that the city can prepare a financial incentive package, we assist the city with that. We also assist the Redevelopment Commission with preparation of various reports that are required by the state or updates to any reports that are necessary as far as redevelopment planning, tax increment financing, or working with tax abatement for companies to update those schedules and make sure they are filing the necessary information with the auditor, as well as doing any updates or monitoring of allocation areas for tax increment financing purposes. It's a lot of general work. If there is specific work, we typically have a separate agreement for that. And just for your knowledge, last year's agreement was an amount not to exceed $35,000. We did not reach that amount, so I lowered it. I believe last year it was a total, I'm speaking out without the paperwork in front of me, I think it was about $15,000, $20,000 of services. So we lowered it to 30 because we never know what to anticipate with any one year. So I lowered it in the event that it doesn't reach the not to exceed, we won't bill it. We only bill for the hours that we work on a project. It's not a lump sum. So 30,000 is the top, but most likely will be less.
We also, Commissioners, we're in the process right now putting together a tax abatement seminar that Dan will perform for the city of Hammond. All the redevelopment commissioners, the folks on the council, city of Hammond employees that are involved with tax abatement in some way, also members from the Economic Development Commission, they will be invited to sit in, and I believe, and Dan can expound on it, but I believe it'll be essentially the basics of tax abatement, and of course be able to answer any questions that anybody has in regards to it as well.
The intent of that presentation is it's titled Tax Abatement 101. So if you remember from your college days, it's very simple. We're looking for a way for the commissioners, city administration, the council, other staff to understand the basic terminology of tax abatement and how it works, as well as Tax Abatement 102. That is a second class or presentation, which I'm going to put it into two of them. That is the next, once an ERA and an abatement is approved, what are the filing requirements and what are the next steps? So the Michigan City Economic Development Corporation has taken it upon their goal to educate local economic development organizations in various ways of economic development, of which tax abatement is one. So in essence, they've had me put together a Tax Abatement 101 presentation, and I'm also putting together a Tax Abatement 102, which is that filing. So there is a staff here isn't available to attend that on March 23rd, so they asked if I can do that for the city as a group. So basically there's a cost savings because I'm already doing the presentations, just making it a little bit more specific to the city of Hammond. As well as a third level to that is I spoke with Ms. Tarver this morning, putting together all the abatements and identifying those and putting together a report to where they're at in their process, so that the city understands what the impacts are of those abatements, as well as how long they run out and when they'll run off as far as abatements. That's just a general overview. Other work that I do, and I don't want to go any longer, David will stop me if I go too long.
I was just, I like the casual Dan.
Yes.
In your previous life, it was always suited
Too technical.
Suited Dan.
Yes,
Now we're
I'm a little bit more
Dan.
casual.
Yeah.
So for instance, another service that, professional service we provide is, and I wasn't aware, I don't know if Mr. Talon is aware of this, but there is House Bill 1141, which is a tax increment, sales increment legislation at the Indiana state level. They are looking at creating a 1/2 mile corridor along the West Lake corridor and the double tracking corridor from Gary to Michigan City that would capture sales tax increment as well as property tax increment. So I've been asked to review that legislation by other clients, and I'll provide that similar information to the city of Hammond, so they have that information. So that's another, so when legislation occurs, we look at the impacts of what's happening, how it affects, so that the city can determine how are they going to respond, whether to oppose or support and oppose certain sections. That's other, it's basic economic development and technical economic development also. And I always enjoy working with the city of Hammond.
Personally, I think I need a class on his overview, but, so much in need by me, so, yeah. So, Mr. President, I move we approve, where are we? The supplemental agreement with SEH.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval supplemental agreement with SEH. If there's no further questions or discussion, thank you for your overview, and
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
a roll call on that motion.
Soto Presley, Kesperky,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Stockbridge.
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you. And I promise I will keep tax abatement 101 very simple.
I'm gonna take the class, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm interested in that as well.
Okay, number 9 is approval of a request for funding for the new construction in Parish View Lot number 19.
Commissioners, I would imagine at this point, you're pretty familiar with what we started several years ago, which is Redevelopment created an agreement with United Neighborhoods, Inc., in which we were giving them money to construct homes at Parish View on behalf of the city. And as the homes are sold, they then give us the proceeds from the sale of that home back. It's been a very successful program. Since we started, well, taking a step back from there, I was the president of United Neighborhoods, Inc. for a while, and for years, we couldn't sell a lot at Parish View. In fact, we lowered the cost of the lot, I want to say from around $21,000, I think, to somewhere around $17,000 or $18,000. We still couldn't sell a lot. And at one point, the mayor determined the best route was to, let's build 2 homes and see if we can have success. And sure enough, we did. Every home we built has either sold prior to it being completed or right after construction was completed. So we're continuing taking the proceeds from the sale of that home, and this approval today would let United Neighborhoods, Inc. now begin construction of the next home at Parish View. But I do want to mention that several of the lots are, there's actual construction occurring outside of the city. We've had a couple of folks buy lots on their own and move forward with new home construction on their own, which also was part of the hope when we started going through this process, or this program, if you will.
How many lots are left?
I believe there's 7 lots left, and I'm going to say give or take 1, depending on what's been sold recently. And like I said, if you looked at the same number even 4 years ago, I think we'd be more than double that number. So it's gone very well.
There's 2 houses being built right now that I know of.
And they're not being done by us, which is positive. It's good. I mean, in the obviously what you want from a city is you want other people to construct new homes and lots in the city. We don't necessarily, we don't have a lot of folks doing that right now. So that's why we have to take on these types of projects. But the great part about this is you're really not losing much, if any, money, because as you build it and sell it, you get the proceeds back and you start the next one. We're also doing this at Lincoln Lake and Robertsdale. This group also, United Neighborhoods, Inc., is in the process of picking out a lot in the 3rd District. They're going to start a new home in the 3rd District as well, because we want to try it out and see if we can have success there also. And you may have seen recently that the city is looking at 2 other developments throughout the city. One is around the Lost Marsh Golf Course that the Port Authority has taken the bull by the horns, and they're going to start something similar there. And also, there's property in the Hessville area, not too far from where Parish View is, that we are looking at potentially purchasing right now, so we can also create a new residential development.
Excellent.
Okay, so, Mr. President, I make a motion to approve authorization to advertise for the sale of, no, I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong one. Let me start over again. Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the request for funding for new construction in Parish View, lot number 19.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the request for funding for the new construction in Parish View, lot number 19. Can I have a roll call on that?
Soto Presley, Keswick,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Ockridge.
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, number 10 is authorization to advertise for the sale of 1048 and 1050 Kenwood Street.
Commissioners, we received information or communication that there was an interested party in this lot that's currently owned by the City of Hammond Redevelopment. So as part of that process, before we can put out a request for proposals to see what groups would be interested in purchasing the property, we have to get an appraisal. If the appraisals are under $10,000, then there is state law that will allow a residential or zoning expert in the city, in this case Don Novak, to concur with the appraisal that we received. As you can see for these two lots, both of them are well under $10,000. So Don Novak has concurred, and I saw that email just recently. So now we're in the process, we're ready to put it in the newspaper, the actual RFP, or request for proposals, to see what groups would be interested in purchasing the property. In this case, we've already been contacted by a church that is interested. Now, for what purpose or what they want to use that for, typically you would put that as part of the submission to the Redevelopment Commission before we make the decision if we determine it makes sense to sell that property to them.
Is the church a neighbor, or?
They are, I believe they're right across the street.
It seems to me that the appraisal cost more than the property in this case.
Preaching to the choir there. That's a problem we have, and you know, it's state law, and it makes sense, because you don't want to...
No, I'm not saying we shirk our responsibilities, I just...
No, but it is, and it doesn't, you know, you've got property that you're paying for an appraisal that could be, you know, $500, $600, and you see the value of the property is quite a bit less than that.
Mr. President, I move for the authorization to advertise for the sale of 1048 and 1050 Kenwood Street.
Second.
We have a motion and a second then for the authorization to advertise for the sale of 1048 and 1050 Kenwood Street. We have a roll call on that.
Soto Presley, Keswick,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Ockridge.
Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, we're going to just move back to number 7.
Number 6.
Excuse me, thank you. Number 6 is our homebound conditional forgivable loan approval. There's supposed to be 3 applicants, so
Yeah, Jamie Baker is not here. I did talk to him this morning. He was supposed to be here.
can you introduce yourselves?
I am Karan Press.
Mark Ayala.
Ms. Press, how did you hear about this program, our program?
I'm from a realtor,
May I ask who's your realtor?
Liz Morano,
Okay, don't know her, but that's okay.
What's the company?
What's the company?
McCormick Real Estate.
Okay, Jeff McCormick out of Crown Point. And Mr. Leah, how did you hear about our program?
Realtor Maureen Miller. She's from Prime Real Estate. And also the lender from People's Bank, Rosie Savalla,
Okay, that's good.
family friends.
I don't have any. Oh, are you both first-time home buyers?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions.
No, but I thank you for coming in. I welcome to Hammond, one from Chicago and one from Lansing, so welcome.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Miss-
Go ahead.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval For the 3 applicants, did we want Jamie to come back?
Yeah, it would be nice if Jamie could come back to us.
And if Jamie could come back to a future meeting?
Okay.
We have a motion?
I'll second it.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
what you did?
I thought I did too, but I did. I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 3 applicants. And if Jamie Baker could come to a future meeting. Can we have a roll call on that?
Soto Presley, Keswick,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Upridge.
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Welcome to Hammond.
Good luck.
Okay, number 11 is our reports. Mr. Bill Talon, would you like to share anything tonight?
I would. Thank you. This Thursday, March 9th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hammond Civic Center is our annual job fair. Every year, it seems to get bigger as far as the different companies that come and they're looking for help. We always tell people, come dressed to impress and bring a resume, bring plenty of resumes, and there will be opportunities. So we hope to have a great turnout. We usually do. It's always, if the weather's good, we usually, get quite a few people. If the weather's bad, we still have a good turnout, but obviously it could be better. So we very much look forward to this event every year, and like I said, this is part of our job in economic development. It's not only to bring companies in and create jobs, but also to match Hammond residents or Northwest Indiana residents up with those jobs as well. Also, on Thursday, March 23rd, the Mayor's Commission on Disabilities is going to host their 31st annual Awards Breakfast and Resource Fair. This will be at the Dynasty Banquet Hall from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And that's at the Dynasty, I said that. So obviously, if the commissioners, if any of you are able to make it, please get in contact with Cynthia, and we'll make sure we have some seats reserved for you. But that's always a great event. Get to honor people that are very inspirational, and I look forward to that every year. Beyond that, if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Okay, thank you, Phil. Number 12 is our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the Register of Claims for February 15th, 2017 through March 2nd, 2017. Claim number R54511 through R54551.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the Register of Claims from February 15th, 2017 through March 2nd, 2017. Claims R54511 through claim R54551. If there's no questions or discussion on these claims, we have a roll call.
Soto Presley, Keswick,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Upridge.
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent. All right, number 13, new and unfinished business. Number 14, public comment. If anybody would like to come forward, you have 3 minutes. Okay, public comment closed. Number 15.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting